Awesome. Thank you, David, for the introduction. And my name is Lindsey. I'm with MT4Professional, which operates under Resilient Traders LLC. Today, I'm going to be talking to you on Synergy Traders event, this Friendsgiving event that's 3 days long, about trading strategies using the MT4Professional scanner. First of all, I want to make sure that you understand we are not registered trading advisors. So can I give you specific trade advice? What we can do is teach and train you how to use our platform on the live edge of the market to build a profitable trading plan and to stay out of trouble. Trading with futures, stocks, forex options, and cryptocurrency has a large potential for reward, and you can make a lot of money, but also carries a large potential for risk, and you can lose a lot of money. So you need to be aware of the risks involved and be willing to accept them in order to trade or invest in any of these markets. Please do not trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. Past performance is not indicative of future results, so make sure that you get advice from a competent financial advisor before you start trading or investing in any of these markets. Never, ever, ever trade in a live account until you have first proven that you can consistently and profitably trade a simulated account. And only then can you start working on the psychological aspects of trading, which is trading with live money. I am Lindsey, your trade coach and operations director here at MT4Professional. Joining me is Claudio Cardinale. He's our product development director and technology guru. Together, we make up Resilient Traders. We're going to be talking today about popular trading strategies, specifically ones you can use as a scanner. We're going to talk about a market scanner. We're going to talk about what MT4Professional is all about, and we'll give you a live demonstration of the full platform. And I'll make a very, very special offer towards the end of my presentation today. See if you're willing to get started with us and to learn a little bit more about scanning and automating your trading through the MT4 or MT5 platform. So let's go right into that. And if you do have any questions along the way, ask the question in the webinar chat box, and I'll be glad to answer those over the air and to give you the solutions. And if you have a strategy that you're currently using and you want to see that set up and demonstrated within the MT4 platform, I'll be more than glad to do that live for you here on the air. Just to share it with me in the chat box. There are a lot of different strategies available that many use that are quite popular within our community, but they're around. The first one, probably the most popular, is the EMA and price. It's a pure price action strategy that you're looking at price action relative to a 15-period exponential moving average. If price closes greater than the EMA, then it's considered bullish. If its price closes less than the EMA, then it's considered bearish. Coupled with multiple time frames, that becomes an excellent strategy to get people going. Next is the MACD and signal strategy. It's a very popular free indicator that's available on almost any platform that you trade today. MACD, MACD stands for Moving Average Convergence Divergence Indicator. And what it does, it looks at two separate moving averages and whether they're diverging or converging over time, measures that distance and that difference and gives you a readback. And then it has a delayed signal line that relative to the MACD can give you a fairly accurate buy or sell signal within a market trend. So while the MACD shows fast changes in the market, it'll mostly show you extreme overbought or oversold conditions and places to enter or exit. There's also a moving average crossover where you're looking at two or more moving averages that cross over at a specific point. So you have a fast moving average, say an MA9, and a slow moving average, say at MA20. So anytime the MA9 crosses above or greater than the 20, then that's bullish. And if it crosses down below the 20, then that would be considered bearish. If you have more than one moving average, then you can take that into another dimension. You can start making them exponential. You can make them smoothed, however that you like to take those trades, longer or shorter term. Then a moving average crossover is probably the most familiar of the ones because ideally it will show you trends. It will show you when the overall trend is longer or shorter in the time frame that you're trading. If you get creative and start combining different strategies, then you'll come up with ones like the EMA and price, MACD and signal, or coupling with those, even a relative strength indicator, which will show you the precise places to exit on the trades. So this will show you the trend direction. This will give you the in and the out points, and this will give you the exits based upon relative strength. So it optimizes a lot of your trading setups. So while none of these are perfect trading systems, they are all very popular, and they are also all able to make you money if you are consistent and trade learning the system. Then there's the ever popular alligator. The alligator strategy is used on mostly longer term trade setups, swing or position type trading, where you're using daily, weekly, or even monthly time frame charts for much longer time frame trades. So while the risk is larger, so are the potential profits as well. The alligators were made popular by their trading strategies, and so it is a very popular trading strategy that's available. The MT4Professional scanner can scan in real time all of these strategies, plus many, many more, and alert you when the conditions are met for a potential trade. So what is a scanner and what is MT4Professional? If you consider 50 different Forex pairs, 20 CFDs, and 9 timeframes, and this is just on MT4 alone, that's more than 630 combinations or pairs to check within any period of time. That's a lot. Do you really think that you're able to manually check that many combinations to find an opportunity that might be presenting itself right now? I dare say that you can't, and you probably are missing opportunities because, as you know, there's always a trend going off somewhere, either long or short. And with all the mess and the noise that you get in the markets, you don't want to be sitting on a trade that's just going sideways. You don't make money on a sideways market unless you're trading call options, of course, but specific strangles or something like that. But you're looking at trading a trend, then you're not going to be making any money in a congested sideways market. So you want to find a trend that's moving. So if you're trading with different instruments, that's also going to be beneficial because if you just are on a single instrument, you're not going to be on it's not going to be trending all the time. So if you're trading with different instruments, then that's what's required for you to be a truly profitable trader. So in fact, trading uncorrelated instruments is a way to remove uncertainty and to diversify your portfolio at the same time. And a perfect solution for this is a market scanner. A market scanner is an automatic tool that allows you as a trader to scan the entire market at a glance for any symbol or time frame within your custom rule sets based upon standard or custom indicators. So it's not a signal provider per se. You can be made into one, but it's not itself. It's a tool that allows you to analyze your strategies, any strategy that you want, using the indicators that you want and the time frames that you are most interested in. Here's an example over here on the right. You can see I have like a spreadsheet where it shows a list of symbols and then 2 columns that's showing different time frames, of 1 and a 5 minute, and then different colored charts corresponding to the symbol. So this is corresponding to a 2 moving average cross. So I have a fast moving average, which is a 15 period MA, and I have a slow moving average, which is a 30 period MA. A bullish cross is when the 15 crosses greater than the 30. And a bearish cross is when the 15 crosses under and is less than the 30. So by looking at this image over here on the right, without having to do all of this calculation in ourselves, The scanner should be able to do those calculations, check each one of these moving averages, and tell you whether it's bullish or bearish. So from that picture, then you can very quickly look down a whole list of symbols that you are interested in and determine potential trade opportunities. I see one right here in the dollar yen where the 1 minute has turned red off of a longer term green trend. So that tells me two things. Number one, there could be a potential reversal forming, or number two, this could weaken. And if it turns back to green, then it confirms that it's coming back in line with the existing trend. And that also is a potential re-entry or trade opportunity. Likewise, with the Aussie or the New Zealand US dollar, you can see both of those have turned green on a red trend, showing the potential for reversal or the potential for a confirmation resumption trend. So the nice thing about that is that it shows you early enough so that you can get ready for the trade and prepare yourself for a trade entry or exit. The other ones show you on the longer term that even the 1 and the 5 are the same color, showing you that this is a strong trend either up or down. So you're going to be sticking with that trade until you start to see the 1 minute changing. Once it starts changing, then you can look in at the chart and see if it's going to be updating itself or not. So scanners are incredibly useful in helping you to not only spot and identify potential setups, but to maintain your trades as well. So Market Scanner does all the work for you so that you yourself can focus on more important things like managing the trade or getting your mindset where it belongs. Once the trade is set up, the Market Scanner searches for conditions that meet your own rules, your strategy, your criteria. Then it alerts you when the conditions are met or are favorable for a trade exit or entry. If you're in a trade, then it signals that the trade is ready to exit and you can exit with profit. If you're not in a trade and you're looking for one, then it gives you an ideal position to enter. Well, here's another example on the right. You can see a different symbol list. Of course, you're not limited to only trading Forex. You can trade anything that you have access to on your MT4 or MT5 platform, stocks, futures, CFDs, cryptos, whatever it might be, you have access to it, then you can trade it. Here I'm looking at three different time frames, a 1 minute, a 5 minute, a 15 minute. So I'm looking out a little bit longer. Now I'm also looking to see if this is going to be trading on the longer time frame. So while I'm looking for changes in the 1 minute, I'm actually trading off the 5 minute and I'm confirming off the 15. And the 1 minute helps me to see. So this is based upon the EMA and price strategy. The EMA and price strategy gives me a green box whenever price closes greater than the 15 period exponential moving average. And it gives me a red cell anytime the price closes below or less than the 15 period EMA. Very simple strategy that moves forward. But when you're looking at that across multiple time frames, then it gives you a whole new dimension. See, because trading with multiple time frames is so important in your trading. I'll go into that in a little bit more detail later. But you can see from this chart that there's a very strong bullish trend in the Canadian dollar, very strong bearish trends in both the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. What we're looking at here on the euro and the pound is that you see a red 5 minute. Now, how was that happening? Well, that could only have happened if the 1 minute were also already red prior. But now you're starting to see the 1 minute chart going green along with the longer term 15-minute green. So we're expecting the 5 minute to pull right back in line with the current longer term green trend. So we're expecting this to be a resumption trend. So if you're already in the trade, that tells me I'm just going to hold that trade. I'm not going to get out. I'm not going to be scared out of this trade. However, if this turns the 1 minute turns back red again, then this could be definitely setting up for a reversal trade setup. If the 15-minute goes red and these are both also red, then I've got a confirmed entry for a much longer term downward. Now, I mentioned multiple time frames a lot throughout my presentation. So, did you know that if you trade using multiple time frames, you have a higher probability of a profitable trade? And that's what trading is all about. You're not trading to make money. If someone tells you that's all you're there for, then that's probably mistaken. Trading is trading probabilities. You are trading probabilities and you are managing risk. If you focus on just trading to make money, you're going to lose. But if you're trading to put yourself in front of the highest probability trade, then you're going to become a profitable trader. And if you manage your risk properly, then you're also going to be a profitable trader. Even if you have less than a 50-50 trade record. That's right. If you have less than a 50-50% track record of wins and losses, you can still be a profitable trader if you manage your trades properly. So trading multiple timeframes now helps put you in front of a higher probability, lower risk trade. It's due to correlation. And it's one of the advantages of using multiple time frame technical analysis in your trading. If you look over at the right, you can see three different time frames: 4 hour, a 1 hour, and a 15-minute. And the very first thing that's obvious to the most casual observer is the noise that's inherent on the faster time frames. And everyone always tells you that if you trade a fast chart, you're going to get into a bunch of noise. You're going to see a lot of chop. You're going to see a lot of stuff that's going to really mess you up in your trade. You see it come up and down, up and down. You don't know whether to get in or to get out because of the noise. However, you take back a step back and look at the 4 hour chart, then it smooths out all of that noise. And while you still have on the bigger picture the same type of an envelope, it smooths it out over a 4 hour period, so that you're still seeing the direction of the trade, but you're not going to get caught up in all the chop. So if you're trading the 15-minute confirmed by a 4 hour envelope, then you're going to have a higher probability that your trade will end in profit, and you're going to be taking entries that are lower risk in trade. You're not going to be tricked into these pullbacks. You're going to be holding through those pullbacks. So when you start to see the pullback on the longer term, then you're not going to be taking those trades until after it resumes the longer term trend, and then you're right back in again off of that trade. So if you had a scanner that could search for these setups based on your own rules and verified by multiple time frame analysis, it would be an extremely valuable tool. So here's a quick example using some charts and some setups, using that same spreadsheet type layout that I showed you earlier, where you've got symbols and you've got scanner setups. If you look at the blue crosshatch here, that shows the position that I want you to focus on. This is the EMA strategy. You're looking at an exponential moving average and price interacting. So when this price is closing greater than that EMA, that's a bullish setup. If I couple that also with a MACD, where I have the histogram crossing greater than the signal line, that then also is a bullish setup signal. Coupling that pair of bullish signals with a relative strength, I want to see that the strength is rising. So I'm looking at the current RSI and I'm comparing that RSI to the RSI 2 bars ago. So is that RSI greater than or less than the one 2 bars ago? It's greater than. That means it's rising, which means I have an upward sloping RSI that is bullish as well. Icing on the cake, I'm coming out of an extremely oversold condition with strength, giving me 1, 2, 3, 4 conditions that are quite bullish for me to take this trade. Okay, up from here. However, yeah, I'm just taking this trade based upon one time frame, which is the 4 hour. If I were now to confirm that trade on a daily chart, I need to look at the MACD and I need to look at relative strength to confirm that that's a good trade entry. I have a bullish MACD cross and I have rising relative strength, which confirms this as a potential trade entry. Third, I need to see that the weekly chart is showing me strong relative strength. So I am coming out of an extremely oversold condition and I am rising in relative strength. My current relative strength is greater than the previous relative strength, so I'm rising with strength over a weekly chart. That gives me 3 time frame confirmation of a 3-point entry, which gives me the potential. And in this particular setup, the trade resulted in over 300 pips of profit, which is an excellent trade for a swing type trader. So by taking trades that are in harmony with the longer time frame, I get lower risk trade opportunities and higher probability trades. And that's a powerful combination for any trader because it shows the importance of using multiple time frames in your trading. A market scanner using multiple time frame technical analysis is an extremely valuable tool because it does all of that for you automatically. The problem, okay, the problem was on MT4, MT5, there just wasn't a scanner that could meet our criteria. You couldn't load it with anything that was even halfway close to a strategy. Most of the time, they came out as something that was too complex to configure, and you had to have a programming degree in order to use them. They were unstable, or maybe a single tool that was not well integrated with the entire system, or they were incompatible with a lot of the free indicators that are already available on the platform. And there are a lot of other issues to consider. So what we did as a company was we decided to develop it ourselves. And so we developed this MT4Professional scanner for our own daily trading. And once word got out how successful and popular it became, then people started asking for their own copy of it. And so we started MT4Professional.com and started rolling out the scanner. And now it is the #1 market scanner on MT4 and MT5. It allows you to instantly scan the entire market for setups that match your criteria, your rules using your own indicators. And when you find a good setup, it allows you to enhance your trade with technical analysis, which it really isn't easy to do on MT4 and MT5. And I'll show you that here in a little bit. So stay tuned, and we'll go right into the live demonstration by pulling up my MT4 platform. This is a standard MT4. This is not MT4 Professional. I'll launch it here in just a little bit, but I wanted to show you a few things why we call it MT4 Professional and why we are looking at the setups that it is. Here I've got 3 different windows using multiple time frames, 15, 30, and 1 hour. Notice that I can click on one window, but I don't get interaction with any of the other windows. And so I have to middle mouse click, save the time frame, look at it, and then look over at the other chart to see, okay, was it here? Oh, no, it was over here. So this is the point I need to be looking at. And then I go over to my 3rd time frame and see, okay, this is the point that I need to be looking at right here. So these were the locations of the potential setups. So when you see a big, nice green volume accumulation down at the low of the charts, you know that these are builds for potential long trades. And then when you see price action failing to produce a new low, this is your entry. This is where you want to be getting long in the trade. Buying volume, coming back into that, into the trade, buying volume, coming back into that, into the trade. So these are great opportunities to enter, but you need to be able to see that on longer time frames as well to take that trade. And it's really hard to do on standard MT4. Also, if I want to look at a different symbol, I have to physically drag and drop from my market watch the chart symbol onto the chart and drop it in order to change symbols. I can hit the enter key, and down in the very bottom, you can see I can type the symbol, but it's still only going to change the symbol or the time frame for the chart that I'm on. And I still have to do that for each individual chart as well. And so that's going to be kind of a struggle as well. Also, if I want to use all of my real estate, I go to full screen mode. Look at all of the real estate that's down here that I have to physically resize my windows for. And if I have more than one window, it makes it a little bit more difficult to resize them unless you use the Windows command to resize the windows. But then you have to do that every single time because you go back here, then you're going to have to resize everything. And what if you're using windows that aren't the same size? A lot of people do that. I do it a lot. I have windows that are definitely two different sizes over here on the left and then three windows over on the right. That's going to cause some real issues because you have to manually resize each one of those windows individually. So if you're bouncing back and forth between full screen like this, you can see over on the right and on the bottom, you've got a lot of real estate that you're missing out on when you're trying to do that. So real quick, let's launch over to MT4Professional. And I've set it up as a profile, so it automatically loads up. And first thing that you'll see on the MT4Professional system is a configuration start page. It's a blank screen with a configuration load page to allow you to load the strategy you're mostly interested in trading right now. So I'm going to be looking at the EMA and price strategy for you, and I'll load it up. And then you can see I've got it set up on 3 different time frames where you've got the 5-minute, 15, and 30-minute on 3 different charts. One chart is larger than the other 2 charts. So if I were to go and make it this a much larger screen, then I would have to resize each one of those windows. But if I were to go into a full screen mode, notice the MT4Professional automatically rescales everything to take up all of the space. So there's a question real quick I just saw. How do you use it for stocks? Can you show a stock scanner? I don't have access to stocks on my MT4 platform, but your MT5 platform, there are a lot of brokers that do offer stocks on your platform. So you can scan for those exactly the same way that you scan for any symbol, any future, or any Bitcoin for that matter. So I'll show you exactly how to set that up and exactly how it's used. Also, note the crosshair. As I move the crosshair on my 5-minute chart, notice it's also relocating on the 15-minute and the 30-minute chart as well, so that I get not only price, but time correlation across all 3 charts. And I can click on the chart anywhere to lock it to do my analysis. If I wanted to do a little bit more analysis, I can double click on the tab to go to full screen mode, do the analysis to draw trend lines, look at whatever I'm interested in looking at, and then double click again to go right back to where I was. The scanner on the left is the EMA and price scanner. So for each of the symbols that I have set up on my symbol list, it's going to be looking for price to be greater than or less than the EMA 15. Here, the 5-minute is showing that price is less than, so it's red. The 15-minute price has closed less than, it's red. The 30-minute price has not closed less than the EMA, it's still green. So on the longer term chart, you're still looking at a potential for a consolidation and a rebound. Price consolidated here, pushed up, came right back down, is validating the price now. It has a very good possibility of rebounding because it has such a long wick and then coming right back up and continuing this longer term trend. You don't see that in the shorter term setups. So you can see this as a potential reversal, but this has got to come back up and fail and create this now as a resistance line. Ditto for this. This comes back up and fails here. Then this has to confirm by closing below that, and then we'll be off onto a potential and new reversal setup. And likewise with the other charts as well. So the setups are great and it helps you to see that. So let's take a look to see how I get the system set up to do this. Remember we were looking at the pound US dollar earlier. So one click on my symbol list allows me to change and look at this pound dollar on all 3 of my charts, just a single click. I can do that with any symbol on my symbol list. And if I want to change the symbol by dragging and dropping from the list over there, I can do that. I can very quickly do that. And notice it only changes this current chart that I'm on. It doesn't change any of the other charts as well. But by simply clicking on the symbol list itself, then it will automatically reset it back to the current settings and you're right back in the saddle again. Click on the select configuration button and that will bring up your configuration start page. So make sure that the one that you are using is selected. click the edit button, and then it allows you to change or update the current configuration. You'll see there's a configuration name and a description of what the configuration does. On the right-hand side is an icon or an image that shows you the chart section. Now, this isn't an image of the charts you have. This is just a simple representation of the charts themselves. So by clicking on this, then you can see the setup of the charts that will always come up every time you click a symbol. It'll always draw a large chart on the left that's 5 minutes, and that will be loaded with the pre-selected template that you give it. Then on the right, it'll draw 2 more charts that are the same size together as the one chart on the left, with the time frames and the templates that you select. Now, I have the same template selected for all 3. You don't have to use the same template. You can use any number of templates that you want. To see a list of any available templates, just click the plus sign here, and it'll pull up a menu of all of the available templates that you have at your disposal, ready to go. Okay. If you don't want to use this chart setup, then you can add another chart window. Click the tile chart windows, and then they'll all automatically be tiled evenly spaced. And you can then rearrange your time frames. You got a 5, 15, 30, and here's your 60-minute chart. Make sure that you put your EMA or whatever template you want to be displayed on that. Now, this EMA and price is a template that comes from the cloud. Since MT4Professional is cloud-based and all your setups are stored in the cloud, you don't have to worry about losing any data. You don't have to worry about losing any of your configurations at all. And this particular template comes from a cloud storage of the saved template. So by using that setup and that template, then you can, let me go ahead and close this out, because it's using that same setup and that same template. You can right click on this chart and save that as an existing template. So by clicking Save Template, you can automatically save this template now as a new template on your computer. So it'll be on your computer and it'll be backed up in the cloud as well. So looking back at your configuration menu, let's edit that and go back in. So we saw how we can set up, change, manipulate, control, make the charts look just the way that you want them to look. Over on the left-hand side, the color change shows the scanner panel is now active. By clicking on it, then I can access my symbol list, and I can also access my scanner configuration. Sorry, I had a little tickle in my throat. I had to mute myself. Over on the right-hand side is my current symbol list, the one that is currently live. If I wanted to get rid of any of these symbols, boom, 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 then that's all I have to do is just click the X. I can clear everything, and then I can go over on the left. These are all of the symbols that are available from my platform. And if I wanted to start with all of the Euro symbols, then by typing in the filter at the top, you can see everything that has Euro in it automatically will display over here on the left. And then if I were looking for any of the Bitcoin symbols, then you can see I've got the mini and the regular Bitcoin available to me. If all I have to do is just select it, hit the right arrow, and it automatically gets added to my list. And then I can do the same thing for any of the other setups. Here's some oil. I can add that to my list. Looking at the euro again, then I can look at the specific ones that I wanted, like the euro Canadian. No, I want the euro yen and the euro US dollar there. So I can hold the control key down, select both of those, hit my arrow, and then so you can see I can build my list, and then say euro is the most popular one. So I want to have that one at the top of my list. And once you have your list set the way that you like, then you just make sure you click the OK button, and that will change it. I'm not going to change my list. I like the way it is before, so I'm going to click cancel button. And if you go back to the scanner panel, and then if we look at the scanner itself, then this will show you the actual rules that we would use for the scan. So clicking on that shows that the color rule that we're currently using, the color rule is a rule based on your strategy using indicators that you want to use that will cause the color of the output cell to be red, green, or any other color that you like. I use red and green as my primaries because they're primarily helpful for me. To see red, that's bearish. To see green, that's bullish. Yellow, neutral. So I kind of have that as my gauge, but you can change these to be any colors that you like. You can also set these up to be any time frame that you like. So going full screen on this, you can see I have 3 different columns that are set up on my scanner. If I don't want a column here and I'm only interested in looking at 2 time frames, then that's all I have to do is just delete one of those time frames. And now you can see I have a 15-minute and a 30-minute. If I want to add one more, then you can simply click it and change it right back. Select your time frame. I will make this one my 30-minute. Make sure that you select the color rule by turning it on. Then I'm going to change this one to a 15. I'm going to change this one back to a 5. So there I've got a 5, 15, and 30-minute setup on my scanner that correlates to the current scanner that's there. Now, none of this changes that you make here will take place until after you've loaded it, but for the time being, I'm just showing you how to do that. Now, if you already have created a scanner, you've gone through the hard work of setting all this up and doing all that, but you don't want to recreate it, you just want to change a couple of parameters, then click the Start from Another Configuration button, and this will allow you to load any scanner from any other pre-configured setup, and then it'll load in here automatically for you, and then all you have to do is just make minor changes to it and save it, and then it'll be ready to go. See the little caret right here on the color rule? If you pull that down and click on the pencil pad, that's an edit icon that allows you to go in and define and change the conditions necessary for your rule. Now, remember the EMA and price strategy has a very simple rule. If price closes less than the 15-period EMA, then it's going to be bearish. If it closes greater than, it's bullish. So for condition set 1 is my bullish set, so I'm going to make it green. Of course, you can make it any color you want. I want green, bullish to be green. So I'm going to be looking at the close of price. That's the item A under my list. Has to be greater than or equal to a 15-period exponential moving average. Now, this is listed here, and if I pull my menu down, you can see these are the only 2 indicators that I have loaded. But say that I wanted to look at one more condition. Not only do I want to see that the close of price is greater than the 15, I will also want to see that the 15 is greater than a 50-period simple moving average. So let's go ahead and click the big plus sign right here and add an additional condition set. I want to look at the 15-period exponential moving average. It also needs to be greater than, and in this case, I don't have a 50 period. So let's go ahead and add one. So let's choose an indicator from our list. Let's go to MT4 standard library, trend indicators. Let's look at the indicator list that's there. The moving average is there. Let's use that one. By default, it comes up as a 15-period simple. I don't want a 15, I want 50. So I'll type that in as a 50-period simple moving average based on close. I like that. Click OK. And you have now a close of price has to be greater than the 15, and the 15 has to be greater than the 50. I like that. It's a much stronger bullish statement. So when this condition is true, the output of my cell will be green. Or, so that means that if this condition is not true, then it's going to go and evaluate this condition set. It's going to look at the close of price. If the close of price is less than 15, then it will change the cell to red. I've already established it's not greater than or equal to. So if it's not greater than or equal to, then this has to be true. One or the other. That's what the or is for. But I need to add this set here too. So by clicking the plus, pull down my menu. Notice that the 50 is added into the list now that I've already added it once. So I'll put the 15 there. I'll make sure that this is less than. The 15 has to be less than that 50. Now that's going to be a much more bearish condition. So by stating okay, then all of my main color rules are going to be automatically updated to that new standard. So if I were to go down to even the 30-minute one, it's the same color rule because it's got the same name. Then I just simply click the edit pad. You can see it's the same color rule. Everything's still the same, and I don't have to make any changes to it. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that and that from this and click OK. Click OK and save it. Check. Close the window and then reload it. Once I reload it, then all of the changes will be updated to the new scanner. Now, I did not add the new ones. I just set it back to what it was originally. But I just wanted to show you how it worked and how easy it is to change that. So if I were putting in a list of stocks, that's exactly how it would be used as a stock scanner. You're scanning stocks right now, or right now I'm scanning Forex, futures, and crypto. If I had stocks available to me, then I could be scanning stocks as well. But this is a technical scanner. It's scanning stocks or symbols which are based upon technical analysis. You're looking not only across multiple time frames, but you're also looking across technical indications as well. Within MT4 or MT5, you don't have access to fundamental data, so you won't be able to input that as a fundamental setup. You'll only be able to scan using technical data. Let's look at another setup and configuration. This time, let's make one a little bit more complicated, like my MACD. I'm going to load this one and show it to you. Did it not select? I thought I had selected it. There it goes. All right, good. So this is set up as my MACD. You're probably familiar with that. It's a 4-hour daily and weekly type setup. Okay. And in this particular setup, you can see that I'm looking at EMA and price. I'm looking at the MACD crossover, and I'm looking at relative strength as my indicators of choice. So by selecting the configuration and clicking edit, then you can see I can edit the layout. The layout, I like to have the main chart that I trade off of on the left larger than the other two charts on the right, which are simply confirmations. On the left, I can set the symbols up to be any symbols I like using this list and the rules based upon this one. So I'll go ahead and pull up the rules and show you what a strong signal rule is based on. Now, do you see something different on this one that was not in the other one? We see two different color rules. One's turned on and the other one's turned off. Now, you can have multiple color rules running at the same time. You can turn them all on, or you can just only have one or so on. That's because on the 4-hour and the daily, I'm using the strong signal color rule, but on my weekly chart, I'm using the trend color rule. All right, so that's a way for you to look at trade setups on your faster 2 time frames, but you're only going to be trading those relative to the trend direction of the longer term trend. So that's what those setups are for. So looking at the overall trend, you can see which ones are bullish, which ones are bearish on the longer term, and then only trade when you're trading in the direction of those longer term trends. Yeah, put the trend is your friend. Trade in the direction, right? So let's look at those actual setups. So click the pencil, and you can see that I have 3 specific parameters that I'm looking at. And I showed you that in the previous demonstration. I'm looking for a MACD. In this case, I'm looking for the MACD histogram to be less than the MACD signal line. The histogram is the white histogram here, and that's the base indicator, and the signal line is the red dashed line. So whenever you see the histogram below or cross over the red line, then that's bearish signal at that point. And then likewise, if you see the histogram greater than the signal line, as in this point, then you see that's bullish. Okay, so those are the crossings and the things that you're looking for potential trade. You want to validate that with the close of price. For a bearish setup, the price has to be less than the 15 EMA. So whenever this price closes below this EMA line, then that also now becomes your condition. And whenever relative strength 2 bars ago is greater than your current relative strength. So if you're looking at the downward sloping relative strength, that's what you want. You're looking for that downward pressure. Then that is a strong signal. And I want to be on top of that trade. So when this turns red, then I know all of these conditions have been met, and I want to look for that as a trade setup. Bullishness is just the opposite. I'm looking for a strong MACD, I'm looking for a strong close above, and I'm looking for a rising relative strength. So that is the strong signal. I'm looking for the strong signal on my 4-hour, that's this chart, and I'm looking for a strong signal on my daily chart. All three of those conditions have to be met. However, on the weekly chart, I'm only looking for the trend color rule. The trend color rule is simply looking at the close of price being greater than the EMA or less than. So I'm using the EMA and price strategy on the longer time frame to determine overall trend direction. So by looking at that on my chart, then you can see that I have very clear bullish or bearish trends, and I have very clear setups that are coming and giving me potential trade entries or exits. So looking at this euro US dollar as a nice strong long trend, you can see price has crossed greater than the EMA. Well, that's overall bullish, so that gives me that bullish signal. But you can see the 4-hour as a strong long signal, as is the daily. And you can see the crossover occurred right there. You can see the rising relative strength, ditto on the crossover here, and the rising relative strength. So across those, at any point, you can see that you have multiple entries you could have gotten in, but the initial entry that, while this came from a red trend to a green trend, while it was a red trend, you would have gotten 2 green signals showing you that you're getting ready for a really strong breakout move. And that's the idea behind that. Here on the dollar Canadian, if we click on that one and take a look at it real quick, you can see that weakness is coming in on the price, on the daily, and the 4-hour. And you can see the weekly is just now starting to set up. Very same thing we were just talking about. Okay, relative strength is already starting to drop, and the crossover has occurred on the MACD. All I need is for price to close below that. That's in order to get that. It's not going to stop you from taking the trade already, because once you see it break out below the base of support, then that should be enough to help you to see that that's a great entry point, especially if it's confirmed with the weekly chart. The daily is showing it's got some good distance to go before it becomes oversold. And we're starting to see a good divergence forming on your MACD. Okay, so but we are currently at shorter term support, and we're coming up into that same point where you've seen before that it did create support. Anything that was prior resistance broke through, becomes support, and goes on. It's coming back and retesting that. The price a lot of times will come back to those same levels and break through them to validate them. You can see even on the longer term, this was a really strong level of support and resistance. Price hit it, broke it, came back up, validated it, came back down, couldn't break, went right back up through, broke it, came back down, validated, and then continued on. So that's what we're looking for, potential setups and breaks on these points and for trade setups. The scanner shows you that way up front, and all you have to do is look at your scanner settings, very quickly determine that, and then you're off to the races. It's a really great tool. Once you've put all the work into setting up your configurations, then all you have to do is share it with your friends. This is a share icon available to any of our MT4 Professional users, and you can click on that share icon at any time, at any point, and share this configuration with any of the other users in the community. Very easy to use. Also, if you pull up your browser, then here's what I'm going to do. So pull up the browser. There we go. Then by pulling up your browser, this will demonstrate the mobility of the system as well. You're not going to be stuck behind your computer all the time because you can load it up on your mobile device, on your phone, your tablet, your laptop, and take it with you wherever you go. And if you still have the platform running at your desk, then you've got access to your scanner anywhere you go. So from the MT4 Professional website, just click on the sign in button up here on the right and log into the members area. From here, of course, you can download the software for whatever version you're using, MT4 or MT5, and it's always going to be the most recent version. Any updates to the software will be available here in the notifications section or the announcements whenever we release any of the new software. And we walk you through the onboarding process 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to make sure that the process of getting up and running is as smooth and easy as possible. What I wanted to show you from this point was the real-time scanner. So by clicking on the menu at the top, the real-time scanner, then what it does is it goes and automatically loads the current scanner based upon the system that I'm using. So if I were to move this out of the way and show you that, then you can see that the current scanner that I'm on is exactly what you see replicated here. Except this is on my mobile device. This is my browser, and I've got it on my phone. So instead of sitting there thinking, oh man, I'm going to miss that trade setup, I don't even have to worry about that. I can pick up, load it up on my cell phone, and then go to lunch. Take a 1-2 hour lunch if I wanted to. And then if I get an alert right here or on my mobile device through an SMS message, then it'll automatically let me know there's a potential trade setup. So if I get that message, then all I have to do is just click on the symbol here on my mobile device. Notice the symbol is going to change on the platform back in the office, and it's going to send me a image, a picture, a snapshot of that trade setup, showing me, ooh, that is a good trade setup. Look, it's already getting set up for a continuation back into the long. So I'm ready to take that as a trade. So contact your broker on your mobile device, take the trade. It's just that simple. So you don't have to worry about it because it goes with you wherever you go. And if you have any questions, then our wiki or our support page is right here. Our knowledge base is right here online to help you not only get installed, but how to get started quickly. And then all the information you need on how to set up any of the configurations, and even how to set up to change your subscription or to cancel and hit the road anytime that you want to. If you're using Telegram, then it can also send all of your alerts and notifications to your Telegram account to keep you updated as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and put that back into minimize mode. And I'm going to go right back to my demonstration and make you guys a very special offer since I only have 1 more minute left to go. I started a little bit late, but I'm going to go ahead and give you that real quick. So for a very limited time, MT4Professional is made available to you, full featured, not a demonstration version or anything like that. It's a full featured MT4 or MT5 scanner package. You get full access to our Skype community. You get unlimited configuration storage, emails, push notifications, and up to 100 SMS notifications per month, all included you also get multiple pre-configured precepts. These are examples of all of the strategies that I've gone over today, already set up and ready to go. We for a limited time, we make that available for $194 a month. But what we do is we reduce that by 50% and make it available to those that for 50% off the standard price. But for today's Synergy Traders event, we've knocked that down 76% more. That's right, 76% off of our 50% off price, $23 a month. That's crazy, y'all. If you use the code Cyber Monday 2023, Cyber Monday 2023, and then click on the link MT4Professional.com/trial, MT4Professional.com/trial. Yeah, there you go, David. Thank you. Appreciate that. Then you can get access to this. You get 14 days to absolutely freely try the software, the full platform, absolutely free. You can even be making money over those whole 14 days. And $23, you can make the $23 in the blink of an eye. So $23 a month is nothing. Normally we have people knocking the doors down at $97 a month. So $23 a month should be a screaming buy. This isn't just a 1 month special. It's not a 3 month special. This is a locked in lifetime discount for anybody to use the entire platform to scan whatever features that you want for life. But if you do cancel, then the discount goes away and you have to go right back to the original prices. So check it out, see if there's any information that you want. If you have any questions at all, you can always contact us at support@MT4Professional.com. We'll be glad to answer any questions you got. We guarantee 24-hour response to answer any and all of your questions. We're usually right back within an hour, but we guarantee that we will get back to you in that. So support@MT4Professional.com is the address to add there. I'll put that there. And let me go back to the special, and then I'll get my platform back up again. And now we have 1 minute left. I think we'll take as many questions. Is this a DAX 30 platform? Is the DAX 30 in this platform? Yes, it is. On this platform, this is Owanda. You do get the DAX 30 on this platform. It's a symbol. Absolutely. Let me scroll back through, make sure I didn't get any questions. Question KD says, can MT4 Pro be set up to give alerts like a dashboard or multiple time frames and pairs? Yes, absolutely. If you go into the configuration manager, you click edit. If you go over to the scanner itself, then on the scanner, you can turn the alerts on and off right here. Real-time notifications are set up here. And then you set it up on your mobile device or your Telegram account. And by clicking this, then it also turns on the alert system within the MT4 or MT5 system to allow you to get alerts in real time.